Good evening and welcome to Center Grove as the Center Grove Trojans host the Warren Central Warriors. Heller 1, Kevin Conrad along with Rick Sauter. We welcome you to Center Grove Boys Basketball, proudly presented by Indy Honda. Rick Sauter, another MIC opponent tonight. The MIC Conference, the best in the state of Indiana tonight. In town, you got the Warren Central Warriors. Depends what poll you look at. They're ranked as high as number 14 in Class 4A, but the Trojans coming off a tough loss Tuesday against Cathedral, but I like the way the Trojans are competing. They play hard, and I think tonight, back here on the home court, this is a very winnable game for the Trojans.
Yeah, Kevin, I mean, in comparison to some other years where Warren Central was perennially the top 5 team in the state, this year they've been up and down. They actually started out 8-0 to start the season. They've lost 5 straight then, and then they won 2, so they're 10-5. Played obviously a very tough schedule, but this, as far as big games concerned, this is being a home game. Trojans got a shot here. They just got to hit some shots, play good defense, and take care of the ball, because you know one of the hallmarks of Warren Central is to speed you up and steal that ball in the defensive end.
And Rick, you talk about securing the ball and taking care of the ball. The Trojans against Cathedral Tuesday night, 20-plus turnovers. Last Friday, 20-plus turnovers against Lawrence North. So the Trojans have to do a better job with each and every possession.
I agree, Kevin. I mean, we've seen that a little bit this year. The Trojans, when they've gotten themselves in trouble, it's been 2 things. They're always never an issue with playing hard, hustling, and doing the little things best they can, but struggling a bit at times with the shot, and then definitely at times with the turnovers. And you put those 2 together, especially late in the game, or you go on a little bit of a run, Trojans don't have enough scoring if they get behind to catch up very easily. So that's going to be a huge situation tonight. If the Trojans keep those turnovers down, they're going to have a good shot.
Center Grove on the season, 6-8 overall, 3-4 on the road, 2-3 here on the home court, 1-1 on a neutral court. Center Grove 0-4 in conference play. They are in last place in the MIC Conference. Head coach Zach Hahn now in his 6th year at Center Grove, 86 wins, 58 losses. He's 0-6 against Warren Central under Coach Hahn. The Trojans, 3 county championships, 3 sectional titles, and 1 regional championship. For the Warren Central Warriors, they're 10-5 on the season, 2-4 on the road, 5-1 at home, 3-0 on a neutral court. They are 2-2 in the MIC Conference. They are tied for 4th place in the league standings. Head coach is Garrett Winiger in his first year as head coach for the Warriors. He spent many years as an assistant coach under Chris Byers, the former Warren Central coach, who's now head coach at Franklin Central. And you look at the series between Center Grove and Warren Central, it's fairly lopsided. Warren Central has won 20 times, Center Grove 8, and it's been some time since the Trojans have won here on the home court against Warren Central. You got to go all the way back to the 2009-2010 season. Center Grove defeated Warren Central that night 58-51, and that game was in the West Gym. So it's been some time since the Trojans have won here on the home court against the Warriors, and the CG has lost 9 straight to the Warriors and 4 straight here at home.
Well, Kevin, I do remember, though, it was either 2 years ago, or 4 years ago, we took them to overtime. And we had a 4th quarter lead, about 7 or 8 points, and it kind of wore us down in that press, and that was the year I think they won the state championship. But so we played reasonably well against them, especially at home, but they've been able to have the upper hand with some great teams. But tonight, Warren's a little bit younger than some other years. These teams now playing this many games are starting to get battle-tested, but Center Grove has a shot tonight. They can control the ball and hit some outside shots.
Both teams have concluded their pregame warm-ups. It's now time for the Center Grove High School Pep Band to play tonight's national anthem here at the Vandy Gym as the Trojans are hosting the Warren Central Warriors. the Center Grove High School Pep Band with tonight's national anthem as the Trojans again hosting the Warriors of Warren Central tonight. Here are tonight's starting lineups first for the visiting Warren Central Warriors. Number 11, Elijah Ray. He's a senior, 6-foot guard, averaging 9 points a ball game. Number 12 is Malik Stanley. He's a junior, 5'11" guard, averaging 21 points a ball game. He leads the Warriors in scoring. Number 31 is Hunter Jackson, a senior, 5'11" guard, averaging 8 points a ball game. Number 33 is Derek Jefferson, a senior at 6'5", a forward, 3 points per game. And number 34, Chandler Jackson, a sophomore at 6'5", a forward. He is averaging 6 points per contest. Starting tonight for the Center Grove Trojans, number 1, junior guard, Landon Hacker at 5'11". He leads Center Grove in scoring with 10 points per game. Number 10 is junior forward, Charlie Bemis at 6'3", averaging 5 points a ball game and 4 rebounds per game. Number 20 is senior forward Ben Cooney at 6'6", averaging 5 points a ball game and 2 boards per game. Number 22 is sophomore Tyler Cerny, a guard at 6'1", averaging 5 points a ball game. And the other guard tonight will be number 2 freshman Marcus Ankney at 5'11", averaging 6 points a ball game and 4 rebounds per game. So Rick Sauter, Marcus Ankney, the freshman, started this past Tuesday in his first start against Cathedral, and he earns another start here tonight.
Yeah, just Kevin, it kind of thrown him in the fire. He was playing a JV team, playing very well, obviously, but for most all the year and really not seeing any varsity action. Comes up and gets thrown in the starting lineup, and he's done a nice job so far. So Trojans, pretty young team. Ben Cooney's their only senior. Another new starting lineup. Tyler Cerny has typically been one that comes off the bench for some scoring power, but this is a pretty good shooting lineup. So we'll see if the Trojans can get some things going from outside.
JV head coach for the Trojans, Troy Burkhart, and his JV squad beat Warren Central tonight in the first game, 42-36. Center Grove JV now 11-2 on the season. We're ready for the varsity contest. Cooney will tip it up for the Trojans against Jefferson. It is controlled by the Center Grove Trojans, and we are underway as Marcus Ankney will set up the offense here for the Trojans. He gets a high ball screen from Cooney. Now Hacker finds Cerny as he goes to the basket, and Cerny, not an easy shot, off the glass scores.
That was a heck of a shot. I think he thought he was going to get fouled. Looked like he might have, but he somehow got that ball off, and what a great shot by Cerny. Nice athletic ability there.
So the Trojans take the early 2-0 lead, and now under the basket, away from the ball. Foul against the Warriors. Chandler Jackson picks up his first foul.
Yeah, Warriors trying to kind of do a motion offense, and Jackson just kind of ran over the Trojan player underneath, and they called him for the offensive foul. Good start for Center Grove. We'll see how they handle the press.
7:31 to play. First quarter, 2-zip Trojans. Cerny scoring the first basket for the Trojans on a great pass from Landon Hacker. Now Hacker across midcourt, goes to Bemis, and Bemis had it knocked away. Good hands by Jackson and knocked it away. Jackson underneath, feeds it to the middle to Jefferson. Now out on top, that's Ray. Good ball movement here early by the Warriors. Good defense, though, by the Trojans, taking away the middle. 1 minute into this first quarter, 2-zip Trojans. Perimeter shot off the mark by Jackson. A battle for the rebound. It's going to be Hunter Jackson with the rebound. Another opportunity here for the Warriors. Now pulling it out with the dribble. Elijah Ray, a senior guard. Again, Malik Stanley, number 12, their leading scorer, averaging 21 points a ball game. Missed shot from the perimeter by Hunter Jackson. Whistle, foul against the Warriors.
They called that on E.J. Ray. That's his first foul. And refs are calling a little tight here, which I think benefits the Trojans because Warren's going to be really aggressive. E.J. Ray with the steal and an easy layup. This is what you got to worry about. They're very aggressive on defense, and this full court press is tough to deal with.
So the Trojans turn it over. Quick basket for the Warriors. We're tied at 2 apiece. 6:15 to play, opening quarter. Ankney, freshman, across midcourt. Bounce pass, Hacker. Pounds it on the hardwood. Hacker played extremely well, shot it well against Cathedral on Tuesday night. Had a big second quarter. In the corner, Cerny for three, swish. Cerny's got all 5 points here for the Trojans.
Good ball move by Trojans. A really nice job by Ben Cooney there. He could have tried shooting that ball with a couple guys on him, but saw Cerny in the corner, got it to the shooter, and Cerny knocked it down. Nice play by Center Grove.
Landon Hacker called for the foul. His first, team's first. Trojans 5, Warriors 2, 5:56 to play first quarter. Center Grove looking for its first conference win of the season, 0-4 in league play. Warren Central at 2-2. Double pump shot in the lane. Doesn't go for Malik Stanley. The Trojans cleared out. Cerny finds Bemis in the corner. Bemis, Center Grove's leading rebounder. He's averaging 4 boards per game. Hacker being pressured in the corner. Goes baseline. Terminates the dribble. His pass across courts, taken away. Warren Central comes up with it. Elijah Ray down the lane, had a tap loose. Warriors pick up the loose ball. Good defense once again by the Trojans. Hunter Jackson, couple of dribbles, hands it off to Chandler Jackson. They'll reset with Elijah Ray out on top. 5-2 Trojans by 3. We're inside 5 minutes to play, opening quarter. Pass inside, knocked out of bounds by Ben Cooney, the lone senior for the Trojans. Good interior defense. It'll be Warren ball under its own basket.
Boy, Kevin, you're right. Trojans defense is very good right now. Very aggressive. They're moving off the ball well, double teaming as needed. Nice job, help defense. Been's good.
3 ball, no good by Malik Stanley. Stanley again averaging 21 points a ball game. No points as of yet for Stanley. He's a 5'11" junior guard. Ankney gets around Elijah Ray, goes to the basket, high off the glass, doesn't go for him. Here come the Warriors. 4:15 to go, first quarter, 5-2 Trojans. Ray, pull-up jump shot in the lane. Good defense by Ankney, taking away all that space. It was a tough shot.
Trojans done a nice job, too, on a defensive glass. They're limiting Warren to 1 shot. Oh, wow, that's amazing. He called an offensive foul on Ankney.
Offensive foul on the freshman. Got that off arm, I guess, out there a little bit too much. You always like to have it up to protect the dribble, but he might have extended it, according to the official, and he's called for the offensive foul. His first, team second. A rare Thursday night basketball game. Big reason for that tomorrow night. You got the girls' basketball sectional going on around the state of Indiana, the Final Four. Shot is good by Malik Stanley now. That's his first basket. Makes it 5-4. Trojans by 1. 3:35 to go here in this opening quarter at the Vandy. So the Lady Trojans hosting Whiteland tomorrow night at 7:30 in the semifinal round of the sectional. Ball tipped out of bounds. It'll be Trojan ball. Cerny will throw it in. So busy week here for Center Grove basketball. We have 5 webcasts this week. This is our second one. Of course, we'll have the Lady Trojans tomorrow night. And then the boys will host Franklin Central Saturday afternoon at 1:30. And if the Lady Trojans win tomorrow night, which on paper they're expected to win,
I would agree.
They'll play in the sectional championship Saturday night at 7:30. So a lot of hoops here at the Vandy tonight, tomorrow, and on Saturday. And with the left hand scoring is Ben Cooney.
Boy, really nice move by Ben Cooney. Just took it strong in the hole with his opposite hand, and nice smooth shot inside.
7-4, Center Grove by 3, and now a reach-in foul against Tyler Cerny. That'll be his first, team's third, and 3:18 left to play opening quarter. Center Grove off to a splendid start here against Warren Central. Warren Central again in the computer rankings, ranked number 14 in 4A. Overall in the state of Indiana in the computer rankings, number 16. And if you like the coaches poll, they're number 15 in the state. They've had an up and down season. They start off great, and then they kind of hit some really good teams. So again, they're 10-5, and maybe not quite what they were last year. They lost a lot, obviously, through graduation, but they're still a very, very solid team. And we did see a foul called against Elijah Ray of Warren Central. That'll be number 2 on Elijah Ray, and now a 30-second timeout called by Warren Central head coach Garrett Winiger, now in his first year as head coach for the Warriors.
Yeah, Kevin, that was a big foul on Ray. That's his second, and we'll see. He's our point guard. We'll see if they make a change or they're going to keep him in the game, but a lot of time to go into the first half to get second foul. But you're right on Warren. I was kind of saying earlier when the Trojans came out, it was a little harder to hear, but they won their first 8 games and out of that skid of 5, but playing very good teams, and they have won 2 in a row now. But definitely quite a bit different team from the last few years. They've had that junior class 2 years ago, senior class last year that were fantastic in football as well as basketball. And so a lot of new players this year, but it's typical Warren Central. It's more of a reload than a restart situation for them.
I mentioned before they're 2-2 in conference play. They beat Ben Davis earlier in the season, 75-60. They lost to Lawrence North in overtime. Lost to Lawrence Central, and they recently beat North Central 63-61. So again, once you hit that mid-conference, it's competitive every single game.
That sure is. No shame there. That's number 2 and 3 ranked teams in the state right there with Lawrence North and Lawrence Central.
Back to action. Warren Central will throw it in under its own basket.
Yeah, Trojans, that press hurt us there. They called a 5-second call on Trojans not getting it inbounds. So Warren is trying to turn up the heat. And they have made a change. They did take E.J. Ray out, and looks like Sean Black, the junior's taking his place.
Sean Black, number 3. And now a discussion with the 2 officials out on top.
I'm not sure what this is about, Kevin. If they're talking about, was it 5 seconds? Or I don't know.
So it was a violation against the Trojans. They could not get the ball in bounds, and now one of the officials goes back to the scores table to have a discussion. And now a discussion with Coach Garrett Winiger of Warren Central, and now a discussion with Center Grove head coach Zach Hahn, just explaining things here. And now they're going to give the basketball to Warren Central. So not for sure what the discussion was about, but we're ready to resume action. Quickly off the bench, taking the 3 is Sean Black. He's off the mark. Sometimes you like to get into the flow of the offense.
He took all of 2 seconds to get that shot off. He's ready to go.
So he's off on that shot. Here come the Trojans in front, 7-4. 2:30 to play. We're in the first quarter. Ben Cooney goes to work down low. And before the shot, he's fouled on the floor. Too bad because he did hit the shot in the middle there, but it is called on the floor against the Warriors.
One of the things about the Warren team is they're not quite as big as they have been in other years. They play more of a 3-guard offense, and not quite most of their big guys are coming off the bench this year.
Foul against Michael Clark. He's off the bench. He's a junior at 6'4". It's 7-4 Trojans, and now here come the Warriors. 2:20 to play in this first quarter. Baseline drive, charge against the Warriors. Taking the charge, Charlie Bemis. He's taking quite a few. I bet you he's up to about half a dozen charges this year.
Yeah, he does a lot of those little things. As you said, leading rebounder for the Trojans, takes charges, good all-around player, and great hustle there by Center Grove. And that's 5 fouls on Warren. Trojans being 1-on-1 pretty quick here.
Foul against Malik Stanley, his first substitution for the Trojans. Leighton McGovern checks in. Cerny gets a breather. McGovern, second leading scorer for the Trojans, averaging 8 points a ball game. Sure love to see McGovern get on track offensively. I just don't think we've seen much production out of him offensively since maybe the Avon game.
Yeah, you're right. It's been last several games. He brings energy, but hasn't been able to get the shots to go down here in the last several games. So love to get him going for sure.
I think we had another foul. That one on Sean Black. That's his first, team 6. Next one puts the Trojans in a 1-1, and we still got almost a little under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. McGovern gets a high screen from Cooney, throws it to the corner, a little too high and hard for Bemis to handle. He couldn't quite grasp it, out of bounds. It'll be Warriors ball. 7-4, Center Grove by 3. 1:45 to go. We're in the first quarter, and now we'll see Ethan Jones, 6'6" junior, off the bench in for Cooney. .59 guard Sean Black across the timeline. Micah Moore also now in the ball game for the Warriors. They got at least 3 subs in there. Coach on obviously also with several subs in there. And now a blocking foul on Jones. Number 1 on Ethan Jones, number 4 against the Trojans. So quite a few fouls here in this first quarter.
Sure are, Kevin. We kind of said early they'd call it tight, which is going to be a parade to the free throw line here pretty soon if it keeps going this way.
10 fouls combined being called so far here in this opening quarter. Micah Moore finds Black. Bounce pass into the corner. Clark tries a 3, swish. Michael Clark's first basket, 6'4" junior. Averages just 1 point a ball game. And he ties the game at 7 apiece with 1 minute left here in this opening quarter. Foul against the Warriors. 1-1 here for CG.
Maybe more importantly, that's 2 on Stanley. He's their 21-point game scorer, and he's going to go out.
Marcus Ankney at the line, shooting his first varsity free throws of his young career. Only a freshman in his second start. Misfires there on that free throw. 50 seconds to play opening quarter. We're knotted at 7 apiece, and a foul against the Trojans. Micah Moore, the senior 5'9" guard, was going down the lane through the air, and he is fouled. McGovern's going to be called for his first. And they're going to say he was in the active shooting, so 2 shots.
That was a little surprising. I guess he might have been going to the bucket, but sure didn't look like he was shooting motion yet.
Free throw is good by Micah Moore. Playing off the bench tonight, his first point, his first free throw here in the 2019-2020 season. The lefty puts in the next one as well. And Warren Central takes its first lead of the ball game at 9-7. 45 seconds remaining first quarter. Hacker with the dribble across midcourt. Being pressured by Hunter Jackson. .30 seconds to play first quarter. Ankney with the left-handed dribble. Finds McGovern. 20 seconds to go first quarter. Center Grove may go for 1 shot. McGovern nearly a 5-second count. Throws it back out on top to Hacker, down to 12 seconds. Center Grove trying to get this game tied. Hacker driving, pull-up, jump shot, missed it. Rebound, Bemis to the corner. McGovern with a 3. Along with it, the tip by Jones doesn't go. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter here at the Vandy in this Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference game. Warren Central leads Center Grove 9-7. Tonight's game being presented by Indy Honda.
The buying experience at Indy Honda is second to none, and our reputation speaks for itself. But don't take my word for it. You owe it to yourself to check out the over 1,200 reviews online. Come in now for great savings across the entire Honda lineup. Lease a 2019 Honda Civic LX for just $189 a month, or a CR-V LX with all-wheel drive for just $259 a month.
There's only one, Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman's Indy Honda, US 31 South at Stop 12 in Indy.
Thursday night hoops in the Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference. Center Grove hosting Warren Central after 1 quarter. Warren Central leads Center Grove 9-7. Kevin Conrad along with Rick Sauter with you tonight. Game 1 tonight. CGJV victorious 42-36 over the Warriors. The JV squad now 11 wins, 2 losses. Rick, they're fun to watch.
They are. That game was an awfully good game today, and close all the way, and Trojans pulled out at the end with some good free throw shooting, and they're a very nice JV team.
We're ready for the second quarter. Warren Central with the basketball. Down the lane before the shot. Foul against the Trojans.
That's going to be 2 on Marcus Ankney. He'll be our first player for the Trojans with 2 fouls.
Number 6 against the Trojans. Next one will put the Warriors in 1-and-1 situation, and now we'll see Tyler Cerny back in for the Trojans, replacing the freshman Marcus Ankney. Again, he'll leave the ball game with 2 fouls. For Warren Central, Elijah Ray and Malik Stanley both with 2 fouls. Baseline drive, right-handed layup is good.
McGovern's down too. I think he twists his ankle pretty bad there.
Hunter Jackson scores, makes it the 11-7, largest lead now for the Warriors. And you're right, McGovern trying to get back as quickly as possible defensively, tried to jump to block it, and as he came down, I think you're right. I think he rolled that ankle.
I think he tried blocking that shot from behind, and I think what he did, he actually landed on Jackson's foot, and that just twisted sideways, and you saw him go down to heat pretty heavily. So those things really hurt. Hopefully it's a low ankle sprain that they can wrap up and get back in, but he's a pretty tough kid, and he looks like he's a pretty good amount of pain right now.
Trainer Dave out there taking a look at McGovern, and now he's going to need to be helped off. It's that right ankle, it appears to be.
Yeah, he's not putting a lot of weight on that either, so they do work on it right below us here, so we'll keep an eye on him.
So it's 11-7. Warren Central by 4. Warriors' largest lead here in tonight's ball game. 7:34 to play. We're in the second quarter here at the Vandy. Hacker, bounce pass. Bemis, high right side. Now to Jones. Back to Hacker. Back to Jones on the give and go. And Jones just kind of lost it on the way up. He was wide open. Probably a little surprised he was that open. Warren Central did not switch, and he was wide open as he was cutting to the basket. He wishes he could have that one back. So far, Center Grove here in the half court, very good with the defense. Nice jump hook in the lane by Derek Jefferson. He missed it. However, the Trojans did not get the rebound. Hunter Jackson got the board, and now Hunter Jackson gets the three-pointer. Just cannot give up that second opportunity.
Yeah, just killed you. Jackson's gotten all 5 points in this quarter, and Trojans with a 7-4 lead early. They've been outscored 10-0 the last few minutes, so good timeout by Center Grove.
30-second. Nope, this is going to be a full timeout by Center Grove head coach Zach Kahn. Tonight's game being presented by Indy Honda. Indy Honda, serving the Center Grove area for more than 30 years. Choose from more than 500 new Hondas in stock. Leases starting at $99 a month. Used cars starting at $1,500. For more information, go online at indyhonda.com. So, Rick, tomorrow night, big night for the Lady Trojans. Again, hosting the Whiteland Warriors at 7:30 in the sectional semifinal game. We'll be here with the live stream. And tomorrow, for those coming to the game, it's going to be a red out. So please wear red to support the Center Grove Trojans. But they're trying to go for their 3rd straight sectional title and their 22nd sectional title in school history. And obviously they got to win tomorrow to get to the sectional championship game on Saturday night.
You're right, Kevin. They've got a really strong defensive team and girls that have been stepping up all year on some leading scoring situations, led by the Wilson young lady, and they should be tough to beat. I know tomorrow, and I think the rest of the sectional, they're prohibitive favorites, but you got to play the game. So luckily here we're at home, and hopefully get a great crowd out there to root the girls on. So should be fun to watch the next couple days.
Game 1 tomorrow night here at Center Grove will be the Greenwood squad against Franklin Central. And then Lady Trojans in Game 2 against Whiteland. And then the winners tomorrow night will play Saturday night here at the Vandy at 7:30 for the sectional championship. So come on out and root on the Center Grove Trojans tomorrow night, and hopefully they get that win, and on Saturday night in the title game. Here in the boys game, second quarter, 6:30 to play, 14-7, Warren in front. We see Austin Booker now in the ball game as he pivoted toward the basket with the dribble. He lost it off his knee, out of bounds.
Yeah, Kevin, we've talked about this a little bit before. We're struggling the things we need to do. One was offensive, not let them get offensive rebounds. They've gotten a few here in the second quarter. We're turning that ball over again, and that's been a bit of a struggle for the Trojans. And again, we've gone through a drought. I think it's been about 4 or 5 minutes since we've gotten a bucket. So Trojans got to find a way to get the ball in the hole.
Turnover by the Warriors.
That's a plus. Yep.
Center Grove again at times just struggles to for the scoring opportunities. And now the ball thrown to Booker at midcourt, had it knocked away, and now an offensive foul against Warren Central. Number 10, Micah Moore, called for the charge, and Cerny takes the charge.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Cerny knew he's standing there, and he had to just almost close his eyes because Moore was coming at him hard, but easy call for the refs. Good defense by Cerny, and offensive foul. Trojans got the ball back.
Austin Booker back to the bench. We see Dane Young in there. He's got the basketball across midcourt. Cooney back in there for the Trojans now with the basketball. Down the lane with the left hand, scores and one. He's so good with his left hand. His offhand, he scores, and he's going to the free throw line for an old-fashioned three-point play opportunity.
Yeah, that was a great play by Cooney. That's the second time he's taken it to that left side, left hand, and looked really smooth getting in there. He's definitely athletic for a tall guy.
Misses on the free throw. Last foul called against Aaron Humphrey, his first. He's a sophomore playing off the bench. 9 team fouls against the Warriors, and now a foul here against the Trojans. Taking it strong to the basket, Michael Clark. He was tripped up. He'll get 1 and 1 here at the free throw line.
Yeah, it's going to be Tyler Cerny's second foul. Tough call. He was kind of going off on his own a little bit, maybe out of control, but just kind of got tangled up with Cerny's feet and called for the defensive foul on the Trojans for the refs.
Free throw doesn't go. So that basket by Cooney puts an end to a 5-0 run by the Warriors to begin the second quarter.
Yeah, and overall a 10-0 run, Kevin.
You're right. Inside Cooney. Oh, good patience. Once again going with the left hand. That offhand, he scores his 6th point.
Trojans found their weapon. They had to get it inside to Cooney. They're having a tough time guarding him.
He gets that isolation down low. He's hard to stop. Cooney's got 6 of the team's 11 points. Warren Central in front, 14-11. 5:15 to go until halftime. Shot inside, miss by Aaron Humphrey. Dane Young will slow it up. Being checked by Sean Black. Now high right side, Cerny. Bemis going inside once again to Cooney. He's got the hot hand inside, goes right back to Bemis, wide open for the three. Ooh, he's long with it. He was open. That was great basketball.
Sure was. That was a good job by Ben Cooney seeing the wide open shot.
We saw Warren Central that time. They came down with some help defense on Cooney. For the last couple of times, he scored on a one-on-one situation. Coach Hahn applauding the great defense here by the Trojans. Good job by Cooney. Doing a good job hedging. Deep left corner, three is good. Michael Clark hits his second three-pointer. He's got 6. What a lift off the bench for Clark. He's only averaging about a point a game.
Yeah, he's had 2 threes and looked good on both those shots, and that's just killed the Trojans. It's a difference in the ballgame right there.
17-11, Warren Central by 6. Entry pass to Cooney. He's fouled from behind. Aaron Humphrey picks up foul number 2.
I like what the Trojans are doing. They see an option in there with Ben Cooney. He's doing a very nice job of pinning his guy down low. When he gets in there, they've either not been able to stop him, he can make some moves, or if they collapse, he's getting the ball out to the Trojan shooter. So I think we got to keep going to him.
Cooney at the free throw line. He'll get 2 shots. That's the 10th team foul against Warren Central, so double bonus for the Trojans.
Still a lot of time here. They've got 3 guys, no, just 2 guys still, though, with 2 fouls. They spread them out pretty well.
Cooney tonight 0 for 1 from the free throw line. He shoots 62% from the stripe. Again, double bonus. Misses here on the first one. Mason Long checks in for Cerny. Saw Mason playing in the junior varsity win earlier tonight, 42-36 over Warren Central. One more for the lone senior, Ben Cooney, and he got the roll. 7 points for Cooney. He leads the way for the Trojans. Senegal within 5, 17-12. 4 minutes to play until intermission. Warren Central running that weave offense out on top.
Nice block.
Black had his shot blocked. Goes out of bounds. Good defense by Cooney with the block shot.
Yeah, Ben's been all over the floor today. He's really playing a nice game.
Rick, despite the 2 games under 500, 6-8 for the Trojans, again, effort so far tonight has been very, very good.
No doubt. Playing very hard, hustling as best they can, taking several charges.
Sean Black hits his first basket. That's a 3.
Fortunately, Warren has now 4 threes in the game, so that's been the difference. We've only had 1.
Black now with 18 threes on the season. He's their second leading three-point shooter. That's his first one tonight. Makes it 20-12. 8-point advantage for Warren Central, and what a great answer. Landon Hacker hits the 3, his first basket.
Yeah, we really needed that. Getting down 8, we needed a good big bucket there, and that was one by Hacker.
20-15. CG trails Warren Central by 5. 3 minutes to play in the first half. Good defense inside by Cooney. Missing the shot was Derek Jefferson. Center Grove quickly in transition. And now they'll bring it out, set up the offense. Landon Hacker asking for a ball screen. Gets it from Cooney. Coach Hahn wanted a foul on Derek Jefferson. No call. And Hacker down the lane scores back-to-back baskets. He's got 5 quick ones here in the second quarter.
Good play by Hacker. He looked like he got fouled twice. They didn't call either one of them, but able to throw that ball in. That was a nice play.
Center Grove down 3, 20-17, 2:30 to play in the second quarter. Ball inside. Derek Jefferson trying to score over Cooney, and once again, great interior defense by Cooney.
Yeah, Trojans done a nice job on the defensive, especially inside against Warren.
Hacker. He's had the last 2 baskets here for the Trojans. He's double teamed out on top, and he has the ball taken away by Derek Jefferson. He reaches in to try and get it back, and Hacker is called for his second foul.
Yeah, that's a tough play. Warren came up with kind of the quick trap, a double team on that pick, and ripped it away from Hacker, and he had to foul him before they got down for an easy layup. And unfortunately, that's his second. After getting hot, he's got to leave the game.
Hacker to the bench. Dane Young to the bench. We see Cerny and Ankney back in. Ankney playing with 2 fouls. So for the Trojans, Hacker, Cerny, and Ankney each with 2 fouls. Free throw is good by Derek Jefferson, his first point tonight. 4-point lead for the Warriors. Jefferson, a 6'5" senior. Got them both. I got him at 11% from the free throw line.
I say he looked good right there. Yeah, he had shot it very well. Now, I hadn't shot a lot, but
I think he was like 1 for 9, so now
he jumped that up in a hurry.
Yeah, he sure did. 3 for 11. Cooney on the baseline, finds Bemis. He drives, bounce pass right back to Cooney. Great recognition by Bemis, and Cooney scores. He's got 9.
That was good job by Charlie Bemis to keep his head up, get that ball to Cooney. Cooney's really looked good and smooth on that inside, going straight up with it.
Cooney leading the Trojans with 9 points. Cerny next in line with 5, and Hacker also with 5. And tough shot on the baseline by Black. Offensive board, put back, good. Derek Jefferson, he's got 4 points. 24-19, Warren Central by 5. 1:15 to go here in the first half. Center Grove again looking for its first conference win of the season. Foul against the Warriors. Cerny was held there on the wing by Sean Black, number 2 on Sean Black.
Warren plays that suffocating defense for the guards. I remember a couple years ago when they had a couple of those top guards of state, but you could have called a foul every time down the court on those guys because they're very, very physical. And these guards are pretty similar within reason.
Cerny misses here on the first free throw. He shoots 53% from the stripe. Hacker back in for the Trojans.
Percentage a little low for Tyler. Tyler's one of our best shooters. He should be up around the 75% mark. Look good there.
He's got 6 points in the ball game. 24-20, Warren Central by 4. 1 minute left, first half.
Trojans in a zone here, Kevin. No, yep, they are. It's in the zone.
Looks like a 3-2.
Yeah, it does.
Again, you got Hacker and Cerny both out there with 2 fouls each. So when you go to a zone, you can try to protect some guys in foul trouble.
Warren hasn't hurt us inside much except for the offensive rebound side, but They're looking to kind of get it in and pitch it out for a 3 in this quarter.
Just got to be aware, where are the three-point shooters? You can see a lot of coaching from Coach Hahn and his bench, just trying to help out the defenders to know where the shooters are on the floor at all times. 25 seconds to play first half. It looks like Coach Winiger wants one shot.
Yep.
One shot here. And we got an offensive foul, a blocking foul, and a legal screen of some type down low against Warren Central. Chandler Jackson, sophomore, called for his second foul.
I was looking right at it, Kevin. They were trying to get somebody over there. I think it was Hunter Jackson on the baseline to cut across, and Chandler Jackson just cut right in front of the Trojan defender, and that was a pretty easy call for the refs. They saw it.
We see Ankney back in for offense for the Trojans. Mason Long to the bench. 16 seconds left to play here in this opening half, and the Trojans now can go for one shot.
Has to be big if Trojans get a bucket or 3 here to cut it down to one possession.
Trying to get the ball in bounds. They find Cerny. Now Ankney as he brings it across the timeline. 10 seconds left to play. Here in quarter number 2, Hacker takes a tough 3. It's the back point. Cerny with the rebound, quickly shoots it. And Cooney with the offensive board and doesn't get it off in time. So the Trojans did a great job. They got a couple of shots there, but could not get it to fall. And that takes us to halftime here at the Vandy. Warren Central leads Center Grove 24-20. Up next, our Indy Honda halftime show. This is Center Grove Trojan basketball.
The buying experience at Indy Honda is second to none, and our reputation speaks for itself. But don't take my word for it. You owe it to yourself to check out the over 1,200 reviews online. Come in now for great savings across the entire Honda lineup. Lease a 2019 Honda Civic LX for just $189 a month, or a CRV LX with all-wheel drive for just $259 a month.
There's only one, Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman's Indy Honda, US 31 South at Stop 12 in Indy.
Welcome to the Indy Honda halftime show here at intermission. The Center Grove Trojans trail Warren Central by 4, 24-20. Kevin Conrad with you tonight, now joining us special guest here at halftime, Jennifer Rako, the Executive Director of the Center Grove Education Foundation. And Jennifer, we have a special day of basketball coming up this Saturday here at the Vandy. The varsity team will be hosting Franklin Central at 1:30, but halftime is going to be very, very special.
Thanks, Kevin, for having us on here tonight. We are super excited on Saturday to be welcoming back the team from 1956. We're excited. We're going to have one of the assistant coaches, 4 of their players, one of the student managers, and even a couple of the cheerleaders are coming back to join us for that game on Saturday.
So they'll be honored at halftime. From my understanding, they're going to restore the county championship photo of that 1956 team.
And I've actually had a chance to see it, and it is amazing. It's a beautiful photo of that team that won the championship in '56. They've had it restored, and they're giving that back to Center Grove High School and our Alumni Association to go in our archives to recognize and honor that team.
And I'll say right now, I did not webcast that county championship game back in 1956. I know there's some of those out there that are thinking that, but no, I did not have the radio call. Of course, there was no internet back then.
No, definitely not. But I did the math, and if you graduated in 1956, that makes you in your early 80s at this point. So we are super excited to have those folks coming back and to have the opportunity, like I said, to recognize them and to also share with our fans and our students that piece of history of Center Grove.
So again, that's being sponsored by, if you will, by the Center Grove alumni and friends, bringing back this group. So maybe tell us a little bit about the Center Center Grove Alumni and Friends?
So Center Grove Alumni and Friends is an organization that what we attempt to do is recognize the past, and we work, here in the present, and prepare for the future. So we're attempting to connect our alumni with some things that are going on here in Center Grove, and find out a little bit more about the types of things that they would like. So in hopes of in the future they can be a part of it and hopefully support what we have going on here.
Again, we're visiting with Jennifer Rako, again, the Executive Director of the Center Grove Education Foundation, and a lot of great things coming up here for the Education Foundation. First of all, you got Purse Bingo. I understand you're sold out, but that's a good thing.
That is an awesome thing. We did our first Purse Bingo event last fall, and the response was amazing. We had a sellout event at the barn. Over 350 women joined us to raise some great money to fund grants here in Center Grove for our students and teachers. So we thought, hey, let's give it a try and do it again. So later this month, we're going to have another event that just as quickly sold out, and we're looking forward to a great evening with some wonderful women here in our community.
So for those that are interested in the Purse Bingo, you're going to have to wait until next fall. Looks like you got it already scheduled for Thursday, October 29th of next fall.
We're telling everybody to mark their calendar now. We'll be back at the barn on Thursday, October 29th to do it again.
Also, Jennifer, you have on here Spring Grant Cycle. Tell us all about the Spring Grant Cycle.
Yes, so for any of our teachers or assistants, counselors, administrators, support staff, student groups, parent groups, or other school organizations that have a connection to Center Grove, they're eligible to apply for grants with our organization. And if you visit centergrovefoundation.org, there's a tab at the top that talks all about our grant application process and who's eligible and the types of projects that we fund, and that's how groups can go about applying to get money from us.
And one of your biggest fundraisers of the year, the Gala for the Grove, it's coming up Saturday, April 25th, 6:30. You got a new venue this year.
We do. We had a little bit of change in schedule this year. Spring break's a little bit later, and as our event grows, we're being challenged in terms of finding a venue that can host our event. So we're very excited this year to be moving our event to the Indianapolis Marriott downtown. And if you haven't been before, it's a great evening. There's a cocktail reception, a silent auction, there's dinner, there's dancing. The Flying Toasters is going to provide our live music for us this year, so we're super excited. That's going to be a great event, and tickets are on sale now. Once again, if you visit our website, all of that information is there.
Yeah, real quick, give us the website so everybody knows where to go for more information and to buy tickets.
You can find us on the web at centergrovefoundation.org. We're also on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and we always are sharing all of our information that way as well.
All right, Jennifer Rako, again, Executive Director of the Center Grove Education Foundation. Thank you to you and all your board members for everything that you do for Center Grove.
Thanks, Kevin. We appreciate the opportunity to share tonight.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Here at halftime, 24-20. Center Grove trails Warren Central by 4. We'll get to our halftime scores in just a moment. The scoring summary from the first half, Warren Central led 9-7 after the first quarter. In the second quarter, Warren Central outscored Center Grove 15-13 to take a 4-point lead here at intermission. Rejoining me now is Rick Sauter. We'll get him wired up, and Rick, I know, has our halftime scores. Rick, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. For the Center Grove Trojans, we only had 3 players score in that first half, but 3 players were in decent shape as far as that scoring. That was led by Ben Cooney, who had 9 points that first half, really played a strong game. 7 points that second quarter, and he was our go-to guy in that second quarter for Center Grove. Tyler Cerny had 6 points. He kind of did most of his damage with 5 in that first quarter. And Landon Hacker got hot in that second quarter before he picked up his second foul, and he had 5 points for the Trojans to round out the scoring. For Warren, they actually had 7 players score. They were led by Mikkel Clark. He had 6 points on 2 3-pointers in the first quarter. First half. Hunter Jackson, the senior, had 5 points, all in the second quarter. They had 4 points from Derek Jefferson off the bench, all in the second quarter also. Malik Stanley, their leading scorer at 21 points a game, was held to 2 points in that first half. He got a little bit of foul trouble and just didn't shoot too much, so we'll see if Trojans can keep him down. E.J. Ray got 2 points early, but he picked up his second foul and never saw action after about 3 minutes to go in that first quarter. Michael Moore had a bucket in the first quarter, or 2 free throws for his 2, and Sean Black had a 3-pointer in the second quarter for his 3 points to round out the Warriors scoring.
We now see the Warren Central Warriors back out on the court, warming up, getting ready for the second half, and now we'll see the Center Grove Trojans emerge from the locker room as they begin their warm-ups here at intermission. Tonight's game being presented in part by the Center Grove Magazine. Center Grove Magazine is proud to support Trojan basketball. Center Grove Magazine, your hyper-local community magazine, highlighting people, places, things, and events happening right here in Center Grove. Center Grove Magazine for the community, about the community, to serve the community. Rick, I thought that was a solid first half for the Trojans. Again, effort was good. I felt like, for the most part, the turnovers, they were within reason. Just got to find a little more scoring opportunities, but half-court defense was very solid.
I agree, Kevin. I mean, I thought the Trojans played a nice game. They started off pretty well, got down. They had that scoring drought, which we see them have at points of time, but came back. They had a chance to cut it to 2 or 1 at the end of the half, only down 4, and it played pretty well. I think they've done a nice job keeping Stan down with only 2 points. Pretty good job, as we indicated on the boards. Very good half-court defense, and we can hit some shots and keep those turnovers down. We're right in this. I think Coach Hahn would take it right now, being just down 4 after 1 half.
Both teams now getting some final instructions from their head coaches. That will conclude our Indy Honda halftime show. And Rick, we have Scott Hines online asking for an update on Leighton McGovern. Again, he went down what appeared to be an ankle injury, and I'm looking right now, just letting you know, Scott, that I don't see Leighton McGovern. He's not in the huddle. He's not on the bench. So that's the most that we know at this point, but he is not a part of the team at this point out here on the bench. So he might be still be back in that trainer's room with Trainer Dave. I don't see Trainer Dave out here at the moment, so maybe Dave is still working with Leighton McGovern. So obviously that's not good news for the Trojans.
No, they were working on kind of right below us on the kind of the bench down here that Trainer Dave has, and he was in definitely some pain. He's kind of moving that ankle around. It looked like he was able to move it a little bit, but looks like a pretty good sprain, and I would be surprised if we see him back tonight.
So again, he is not here on the bench as we get this second half underway. It'll be Center Grove basketball. Trojans trail 24-20 here in this mixed contest against the Warren Central Warriors. Again, a big thank you to Jennifer Rayco, the executive director of the Center Grove Foundation, for being our guest tonight on our halftime show. A lot of great things that the Center Grove Education Foundation does for our school system. Missed shot by Hacker out on top. Here come the Warriors. Attacking, Landon was able to get his hand on it and was able to knock it away from Derek Jefferson. Good defense by Hacker. High left side, Bemis looking inside for Cooney. What a great first half for Cooney, 9 points. What do you have, 2, maybe 3 baskets with that left hand?
Yeah, he did. 2. There's another nice smooth right hand. Just missed that one, but yeah, he had 2 for sure.
He's got a lot of creativity around the basket.
Yeah.
Does a good job pivoting, drop stepping, reaches out with that right hand, can score with the offhand, his left hand as well. Just rolled that one off.
Yeah, he kind of has that old school game. Very good footwork, able to pivot and kind of find a way to get his shot off.
How about that? Bemis getting on the floor. Bounce pass to Cooney, and Cooney puts it down with two-handed slam. 11 points for Ben Cooney. Hustle play by Bemis. I love it. Center Grove within 2, 24-22. Defense creating great offense there for the Trojans. Inside, that's off his foot,
wow.
Unless
They're
they call a foul.
And that's going to be 3 on Hacker. That's too bad.
Yeah, I thought Hacker maybe was able to knock that one off the Warren Central player out of bounds, but they're going to put a foul on Hacker, and you're right, that's his 3rd.
He's going to be coming out here.
Dane Young to the scorer's table. He'll be checking in during the next dead ball. 24-22, Center Grove down 2. Jump shot good. Malik Stanley, just 4 points. He averages 21. He had 2 fouls, though, in that first half and played very minimal minutes. 26-22, Trojans trail by 4, and Hacker trying to draw some contact in the foul. No call. Coach Hahn wanted the call. Here come the Warriors. 3 ball is short. Offensive board, though, by the Warriors. Inside shot doesn't go for Derek Jefferson. They get the offensive board again. Another shot, another offensive board, and they're just getting that inside position on the Trojans. And now the ball out of bounds. It'll be Warren Central ball, so this will be, what, their 4th shot opportunity?
Yeah, that's tough. When they start getting 3 and 4 shots, that you can't hold them down that long.
So now Hacker to the bench with 3 fouls. Off the out-of-bounds play, there was some contact. An illegal screen called against Warren Central.
Boy, and that's on Stanley. That's his 3rd. Big call there.
Stanley, again, their leading scorer, averaging 21 points a ball game. He has 4 tonight, just picked up his 3rd. Center Grove with the basketball, down 4, 26-22. 5:40 to play. We're in the 3rd quarter. Dane Young in there replacing Hacker. Hacker again on the bench with 3 fouls. And a whistle, and does he, I guess, a violation?
Call palming.
Palming. He kind of lost his footing, and I think when he lost his footing, it kind of forced him into a palming situation.
Yeah. That's the tough part out for Anthony as a freshman here. It's not that he's not a good ball handler and in control, because he is, but just being a freshman against these older, bigger kids, he gets pushed around a little bit, and that kind of can knock you off your line and have to do something a little bit different with the ball.
Down the lane, circus shot, foul against the Trojans. That was Malik Stanley. And some more bad news here for Leighton McGovern. He now sits down here on the bench. He's on crutches. Appears to have that walking type air cast on that right foot. So that's all that we know at this point by just looking at McGovern down on the floor. He's at the end of the bench, and again, with the use of crutches, sits at the end of the bench with, again, that air type of cast on that, like a walking boot, if you will.
Yeah, not a great sign there. At least he's back on the bench of the team, but obviously looks like for the short term he's going to be out.
A couple of free throws by Malik Stanley. He's got 6 points in the ball game. 28-22, Warren Central by 6. Now we see the Warriors kind of a 2/3 trapping type defense. Center Grove was able to bring it into the front court. Dane Young goes right back to Cerny. Fakes right, comes down the lane, and he is fouled. Hunter Jackson gets him from behind. Let's see if it's on the floor or 2 shots. They're going to give him 2 shots. Cerny tonight, 6 points, 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. Free throw short by Cerny. And you can tell, the body language for Leighton McGovern, he's obviously just very, very distraught, disappointed, if you will. Such a great young man, great athlete. Next free throw by Cerny is good. 7 points for Cerny. 28-23, Trojans down by 5 on the baseline. Malik Stanley, he's starting to warm up, Rick.
He is.
8 points.
Love to find a way to get that 4th foul on him where they have to take him out.
That's a good point. Find him out where he is on defense. Maybe attack him a little bit. He's guarding the ball right now, Coach Hahn calls a timeout. We almost
thought that was going to be
some contact.
Yeah, there was.
So this is a 30-second timeout called by Center Grove head coach Zach Hahn. Again, 4:36 to play. We're in the 3rd quarter. Warren Central 30, Center Grove 23. The Trojans so far just 3 points here in this 3rd quarter, and for Warren Central, they've got 6 points.
Yeah, Trojans going to have to find some offense here. Warren's picking up that press, and sometimes that can offer you some open shots when they're double teaming all over the court, but obviously they're trying to speed you up to get the turnovers. And unfortunately with Hacker, with being his 3rd foul on the bench, that's one of our outside shooting threats. So we're going to have somebody else pick it up from outside when we have those open chances.
Right below us, we see Caden Curry. He's in the house. What a great young man, great football player. He's getting quite a few offers. He just had, I think, a trip up to Notre Dame for Junior Day. Also recently had Junior Day, recruiting trip down to IU. Only going to be a junior this coming year. All right. How about that for Bemis? Drills the 3. Big shot. Center Grove needed that. That's the first basket for Charlie Bemis.
I agree, Kevin. That'd be really good to get him going.
And now an offensive foul against the Warriors. Center Grove within 4, 30-26. 4:10 to go in the 3rd, and an offensive foul against the Warriors. That one going against Derek Jefferson. That's his first, team's 3rd. Dane Young and Marcus Ankney working against this trapping defense. Cooney down the lane with the right hand, scoops it up and got the roll. Goes around that cylinder and drops in. He's got 13. Center Grove within 2, 30-28. Center Grove has lost 4 straight against the Warriors here on the home court. 9 straight losses overall. So the Trojans trying to get one here tonight against Warren Central. You got to go all the way back to the 2009-2010 season. Center Grove beating Warren here on the home court. That was in the West Gym, 58-51. That one hits the side of the backboard by Hunter Jackson. Dane Young with the layup and got it. Almost rattled out.
But he got it off in time and got it in. Trojans got a tie ball game here. This is crowd getting into it.
30-30. And a near turnover. Bemis on the floor. And other Center Grove players on the floor. Ankney. And then now Dane Young tries to save it. And you got Cerny on the floor. And wow, he got 3 Center Grove jerseys or players on the floor going after it.
Yeah, that was great hustle by the Trojans. Almost got it. I think Ankney was trying to tip it back to somebody who was open back, but unfortunately, Cerny dove too, and they kind of ran into each other, and the ball ended up going out of bounds. But great hustle by Center Grove.
3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Tied at 30 apiece. Trojans trying to break a 9-game losing streak against the Warriors, and now Dane Young gets called for the foul. His first. In conference game, Center Grove against the Warriors, 17-6. Warriors with the advantage. 17 wins for the Warriors, 6 for the Trojans in MIC play. Each team now with 3 team fouls. Malik Stanley, 8 points in the ball game, 6 here in the third. 3-pointer short, rebound Bemis. Chandler Jackson short on the 3. Center Grove looks to take its first lead since, looking back,
7-4 we were up.
7-4. I think you're right, Rick Sauter. 7-4 back in the first quarter was the last lead for Center Grove. Bemis fires another 3. Swish again. He's got a couple of threes here in the third quarter. 6 points for Bemis. And the Trojans have their first lead since 7-4 back in the first quarter. It's 33-30, 2:15 to go in the third quarter, and a whistle and a foul.
It's going to be Tyler Cerny's third, I think, unfortunately.
Foul against the Trojans.
I think they got Dane Young, I think.
Dane Young picks up his second foul, and a 30-second timeout called by Warren Central head coach Garrett Winiger. With 2:15 to go, we're in the third quarter. Center Grove 33, Warren Central 30. Center Grove with 13 points here in this third quarter and 6 for the Warriors. So the Trojans again have outscored them 13-6 here in the second half.
Yeah, Trojans done a nice job kind of breaking that press and finding the open man. Ben Cooney's been able to drive at the bucket a couple times, and Charlie Bemis heating up with 2 threes in a row. That's really been a huge boost for the Trojans.
Bemis, he's a hustler. Does a great job. He's taking a charge tonight, and he's now hit a couple of threes. He leads Center Grove in rebounding, and what a shot out of that timeout. Is that Hunter Jackson?
I think that was Hunter Jackson right out of timeout with a 3.
He's got 8 points in the ball game, ties the game at 33 apiece. 2 minutes to play in the third quarter, and Cerny had the ball tipped out of bounds by Hunter Jackson. Cerny will throw it in, and now Bemis will throw it in. Not easy sometimes to get the ball in bounds against this Warren Central defense.
Telling me. They are very aggressive on those plays.
Freshman Ankney working against Black. Baseline, Hacker back in there, draws contact from behind. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Number 3 foul on Elijah Ray. So they have Malik Stanley and Elijah Ray each with 3 fouls. Free throw good. 6 points for Landon Hacker. He shoots 82% from the stripe. Trojans back in front by 2, 36. Should say 35-33. 35-33 Trojans. 7 points for Hacker. Good shot fake inside, good patience. And the basket is good. Michael Clark, 8 points in the ballgame. We're in the third quarter. Ankney tries a 3. It's short. Rebound. Jones now in the ball game as he was falling to the court. He had to get rid of it. Throws it away. And they're going to say count the basket. Blocking foul against Center Grove. Malik Stanley scores his 10th point. He's the first Warren Central player in double figures. And he'll be at the line for 1.
Now Tyler Cerny tried taking that charge down there, but Stanley kind of jumped sideways, and you'll see that at times he still initiated contact, but if they don't hit him straight on, sometimes the ref will give the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player, and that's what happened there. 3
fouls against Cerny. He'll check out. Jones will check out. Free throw is good. He's got 11 points in the ballgame.
Well, he's really come alive in this third quarter.
9 points here in the third quarter for Malik Stanley. He averages 21. He's now got 11. 50 seconds to play in the third. Center Grove down 3, 38-35. Bemis on the fake to the left. Goes right. He's called for steps. 47 seconds to play in the third. Warren Central, we shall see if they'll go for one shot of the quarter.
Yeah, they might. We saw them do this here another quarter. They had about a minute to go, and they took it all the way down.
Warren Central again in Class 4A in the computer rankings, ranked number 14. Center Grove has done a great job here tonight, hanging with the Warriors.
Yeah, they are, Kevin. They're going to take it down.
Down to 20 seconds. Again, the Trojans trying to snap a 9-game losing streak against Warren Central. Now 10 seconds remaining. Malik Stanley throws it to the corner. Back to Stanley, a long 3, missed it. Rebound, Bemis, outlet pass goes to Hackard. He had it taken away, and Stanley at the buzzer gets another shot. Misses. And that brings us to the end of the third quarter here at the Vandy. It's Warren Central 38, Center Grove 35. Tonight's game being presented by Indy Honda. This is Center Grove boys basketball.
The buying experience at Indy Honda is second to none, and our reputation speaks for itself. But don't take my word for it. You owe it to yourself to check out the over 1,200 reviews online. Come in now for great savings across the entire Honda lineup. Lease a 2019 Honda Civic LX for just $189 a month, or a CR-V LX with all-wheel drive for just $259 a month.
There's only one Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman's Indy Honda, US 31 South at Stop 12 in Indy.
Center Grove outscored Warren Central in the third quarter, 15-14 to cut that deficit down to 3. Center Grove trails 38-35 as we get things underway here in quarter number 4. Center Grove looking for its first win in conference play. The Trojans 0-4. Warren Central in league play at 2-2. Warren Central with the basketball to begin the fourth, and wow, what a shot by that young man. He's been hot here in the second half. That's Malik Stanley. He's got 14 points.
Yeah, he's really come alive, and you figured it might happen. He averaged 21 a game, so he's a tough player, but he's getting hot now.
6-point advantage for the Warriors, 41-35. Inside, isolation once again for Cooney. Good interior defense by Michael Clark, and they go right back inside to Cooney, and this time they put a foul on Clark.
Yeah, Clark did a very nice job that first time, bodying up Cooney and making him pass it back out, but Trojans, in a good job by them, getting it in, trying to get it to Cooney to make things happen. Clark then reached over his back and called for the foul.
Second foul on Clark. The inbounds pass taken away by Michael Clark. And in transition, the ball goes out of bounds after the shot was blocked, either by Cerny or Cooney. They both were defending.
Shit, I keep forgetting to do this.
It'll be Warren Central ball. Out of bounds under its own basket. That'll be Malik Stanley that throws it in.
You got to watch him coming out for the shot. Here he is.
Stanley, step back three, hit the front of the rim. Cerny with the rebound. Trojans down 6. Cerny finds Cooney at the free throw line. Spin move with the left hand. Couldn't quite elevate to finish. Once again, good defense by Michael Clark inside, and in transition scoring is Malik Stanley. He's really in the second half.
Yeah, good timeout by the Trojans. It's starting to get away from a little bit. Warren has kind of gotten the Malik Stanley to take the game over a bit. And Trojans in a little danger here, down 8.
Timeout called by Zach Hahn. Full timeout. 6:46 to play in tonight's ball game. Again, the Warriors lead the Trojans 43-35. 5-0 run to begin the third quarter. I think it was very similar. Yeah, the Warriors, they went on a 4-0 run to begin the third quarter. Then the Trojans responded in that latter part of that third quarter. So the Trojans in that situation right now, Rick, you look at the scoreboard down 8. You got to make a run now.
You really do. You don't want to get this down. You know, it's tough there. Warren's tough to score on. So you got to take your chances and get back to this game right now. I like us going into Cooney and see where things are happening. Warren knows that now, so doing a nice job of making sure he gets it. And if he does get it, it's a little bit higher, so he doesn't have a chance to kind of turn and score right away. But Trojans got to find some scoring out here, and maybe we can get Charlie Bemis or Landon Hacker with some open threes to get a couple shots in and get it close here in the next minute or two.
Full court pressure by the Warriors. See how the Trojans handle it. Man-to-man full court pressure. Ankney, the freshman point guard, working against Sean Black across midcourt. Hacker. Jackson in his face, giving him no space at all. Tough shot. He scores. Use the glass, though. That's a great job by Hacker. He scores. He's got 9 points.
It's a nice move by Hacker. Jackson's really trying to body him up and muscle him out of there, but Hacker stayed strong and got that shot off. Nice touch.
43-37. Center Grove trails by 6. 6:10 to go, and another illegal screen called against Warren Central. I think they're going to get Sean Black for the personal foul.
I think they are. We've seen probably 4 or 5 of those by Warren Central today.
That is Black. That'll be his third. 16 fouls against Warren Central. The next one, the Trojans will be in the 1-1. That's a great way to catch up.
Yeah, it sure is.
Free throws with the clock stopped. Center Grove within 6. Bemis, he's been hot here in the second half. He had 2 3-pointers in the third quarter, and that one nearly was stolen. Malik Stanley almost got an easy layup out of that one. Cerny was able to hang on. 5:40 and counting. Fourth quarter. Good defense by the Warriors here in the half court. Center Grove being very patient, very deliberate, working for a high percentage shot. Here comes the freshman with the left hand, rolled it out. The follow-up by the senior is good. Cooney, he's got 15.
Nice move by Ankney. Got in there and just rolled off the rim, but Ben Cooney in the right place, the right time. Gets it back, went straight up and got his bucket. Down to 4.
43-39. Warren Central by 4. 5:10 to go in the ball game. Stanley being checked by Hacker. Stanley's their go-to guy. Into the corner, shot blocked by Cooney. He was able to block the shot by Michael Clark, and now a reach-in foul against Clark. He was obviously upset getting his shot blocked, and actually they're going to put that one on Elijah Ray, and that's going to be number 4 on Elijah Ray.
Yeah, Ray has not played much today. He's been in foul trouble all night. We are in the 1-1. Chance for Trojans to get this down to a 2-point game.
Bemis will shoot 1 and the bonus. Bonus shots from here on out for the Trojans with 5 minutes left in the ball game.
Yeah.
Trojans down 4, 43-39. Bemis' free throw is good. 7 points for Charlie Bemis.
Good touch there by Charlie. He's had a nice second half. All 7 of his points coming after the break.
Charlie, 17 three-pointers on the season. Second most for the Trojans behind Hacker, and he's good on the next one as well. 8 points for Bemis.
Good touch there by Charlie. Big free throws.
43-41. Center Grove within 2. We're inside 5 minutes to play in the fourth. Shot fake by Sean Black. He'll penetrate. High arching shot over Cooney. He missed it. Rebound Bemis. Trojans have a chance to tie or take the lead by 1 with a three-pointer.
Sure do. Crowd's up on their feet a bit.
Cerny with the left-handed dribble. Bemis back to Cerny. He'll go baseline, hangs, and offensive foul against Cerny. That'll be number 4 on Tyler Cerny. I like the aggressive take. He was trying to draw contact. He was trying to draw, obviously, the foul, but a good job by the Warriors to take the charge.
Yeah, it was. Just got up there and got a little out of control, and Warren did a good job of standing their ground and taking that charge.
Full timeout called by Warren Central. 4:29 to play in tonight's ball game. It's 43-41. Center Grove within 2 points of the Warriors. Again tomorrow night, Center Grove Lady Trojans hosting Whiteland at 7:30 in the sectional semifinal round. It is a red out tomorrow night, so we encourage all the Center Grove fans to wear red tomorrow night to watch the Trojans against the Whiteland Warriors. Center Grove all time against the Warriors in the state tournament in the sectional round. 13 wins, no losses. So CG looks to make that 14-0 tomorrow night. And if so, the Lady Trojans will advance to the sectional championship game on Saturday night at 7:30. Lady Trojans have won 21 sectional titles in school history. They've won the last 2, and they've won 4 of the last 5. So trying to get back to the regional. We'll be there tomorrow night and on Saturday with the Webcats. As long as the Trojans take care of the Warriors tomorrow night, we'll be there as well on Saturday night. For the boys team, back in action on Saturday afternoon at 1:30, hosting Franklin Central, which, Rick, could be a potential sectional opponent. Franklin Central at the moment, if you look at Center Grove sectional and on the boys side of things, they're the highest ranked team in that sectional.
Yeah, they've had a nice year, better than what maybe thought on paper. They've got a good young team, and I think their record's about 10-5 or so they've done very well so far.
Boys sectional this year going to be hosted at Shelbyville High School.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. First time to be there.
Golden Bears, newcomers into the sectional number 13, hosting this year the boys sectional. Back to action, Warren Central by 2, 43-41, 4:10 to go in the ball game. Malik Stanley called for the travel. He's so quick and lightning fast to the basket. He was trying to drive and pass, and he is called for steps.
Yeah, good job by the Trojans defensive there. Kind of made him try to go outside a little further, and he had to take an extra step.
Whistle, what do we have?
We have a foul, I'm hoping, or
5-second count.
Now I think he's kind of warning on maybe Warren's coaches for being out of the box or on the court, and he's going to give the Trojans. Nope, you're right. He called a 5-second call.
I think he calls a 5-second count.
Right.
It's a warning, though, against the bench.
Yeah.
But it is a violation. The Trojans could not get the ball in bounds. Yeah, 5-second count. So we're down to 4 minutes in the ball game. Warren Central 43, Center Grove 41. Hunter Jackson, high right side. They're going to look like
they're going to bring this out.
Yeah, they got 4 corners right now. They're spreading the floor. They're going to force Center Grove to come out and guard them.
Center Grove looks like they're reasonably open to let them take some time off. Now Ankney comes out.
Again, just a 2-point lead here for Warren Central, and now the penetration. I thought he almost walked there.
Sure looked like it.
Yeah, it looked like he may have walked Hunter Jackson. Shot from Malik Stanley, missed on the three-pointer. Trojans again have a chance here to tie or take the lead by 1. 3:20 in the ball game. They go inside. Cooney
good
out
pass.
On top. Good rotation. Hacker back inside. Cooney. They're trying to go inside outside. Good way to attack this defense. And now traveling called against Dane Young.
Wow, that's too bad.
Dane trying to make the pass inside, called for steps. 3:11 to play. Warren Central by 2. Black across the midcourt stripe, and Dane Young nearly comes up with a steal. Hunter Jackson was able to retain possession or maintain possession. Now we're inside 3 minutes to play. Warren Central really slowing things down here in the half court.
Really deliberate.
Elijah Ray. Coach Hahn asking for a 5-second count. That could have been a 5-second count. I'm not sure if they were counting or not. Big shot, though, by Hunter Jackson, a three-pointer. He's got 11 points in the ballgame.
Yeah, he's hit 3 threes. That has really hurt the Trojans today. He's been really strong from outside.
5-point lead for Warren. 2:20 to go.
Oh, good.
Why does he always do
To Ankney. Ankney was moving to the wing, and the ball goes out of bounds. Cerny back in for the Trojans. Center Grove needs a stop, and they need a score.
Sure do. That's 3 times in a row Trojans have not gotten a shot. They had to turn over out of bounds and then 2 straight turnovers, and boy, that's really hurt them here with 2 minutes to go.
Center Grove in the 1-and-1 if they can somehow get to the free throw line.
Good
Inside,
block.
Cooney with the block on Derek Jefferson, and the ball is loose at midcourt, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Trojan ball. Again, you look who's on the floor, Cerny.
Yeah, he really is a hustler. It looks like he's twisted ankle a little bit, but he looks like he's okay.
He's limping around on that right foot. He seems to be okay.
Yeah,
he's going to hang in there. Center
Big
Grove down
possession
5.
here, Kevin. Big possession here.
Down to a minute 40 in the ball game. The Trojans within striking distance here. Good defense by the Warriors. Ankney driving with the left hand, scores. When all else fails, have your freshman drive and score, and scores his first basket. 46-43, a one-possession lead for the Warriors. A minute 20 to play in the fourth, and a timeout call by Garrett Winiger, first-year head coach for the Warriors. What a great take by the freshman, Ankney.
It really was. He didn't have a lot there, and Trojans were not moving quite as much, so he decided, I'm going to take this in, and he didn't stop. He went all the way, and then they all came over, but made a nice little scooping left-handed shot for the bucket. Really big play by Marcus Ankney, and cut this down to one possession. So minute 22 to go. Both teams are in the 1-on-1. Trojans need a steal, and for sure need a rebound if they get Warren to shoot it.
This is a 30-second timeout. Coming up this Saturday in Center Grove Sports, the wrestling team will be in the regional at Mooresville, getting underway at 9:30. Center Grove has, I do believe, 8 wrestlers competing in the regional. Also on Saturday, the girls swimming and diving team will be competing in the sectional at Franklin. Best of luck to the Lady Trojans. 1:20 to play here in the ball game. Warren Central 46, Center Grove 43. Warren Central right back to the four corners. Ankney pressuring Sean Black. Coach Hahn's asking, making sure that they count.
Yeah, I think that, and you don't want to foul the Jacksons or Stanley. They're all those 3 are pretty darn good free throw shooters. Stanley especially is over 80%. The other guys, pretty for sure easy to foul. That's probably a good one. Sean Black.
Sean Black is fouled. I show him at 44%. From the free throw line, and he has not been to the free throw line tonight. This will be 1 and the bonus.
Yeah, if you're going to foul somebody, this is one of the ones you'd like to see.
He is short on the free throw. Rebound, Hacker. Center Grove down 3. 43 seconds to play in the ball game.
No need to get a 3 here. You can get a 2. Plenty of time.
Ankney inside to Cooney. Cooney going to work. Lost his footing. Called for steps. Coach Hahn wanted a foul. He thought he got pulled on that arm, which then pulled him down and was fouled, but they're going to put that one as a travel. Tough break for Cooney.
Yeah, it is.
27 seconds to play in the game. Center Grove down 3 points.
That's not who you want. You can see Coach Hahn not happy at all. That is the one guy you don't want to foul.
Malik Stanley, their top shooter, 82% from the free throw line. He's 3 out of 3 tonight. This would be 1 and the bonus. So if you do the percentages, he's due to miss.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right, but he is an 82% free throw shooter. So out of 10, he's due to miss 2.
He hits the first one here.
I like your positive thought outlook, though.
17 points for Malik Stanley. He's got 15 of those here in the second half.
Yeah, he's played really well in the second half.
Coach Hahn obviously wanted a foul, but just didn't want to foul
anybody
Stanley. He really wanted to see like a Sean Black, who was just up there moments ago, who is 44% on the season. But Stanley hits both free throws. Warren Central by 5. Ball tipped out of bounds here on the press by Warren Central. 24 seconds left to play. Center Grove still has an opportunity here.
The Trojans have had a lot tougher time here in this fourth quarter getting this ball in on this press. I think they're looking at the clock maybe to put some time. Well, they're taking some time off. That's surprising.
About a half a second. Yeah. Went from 24.5 to 24.
Ben Cooney, nobody's guarding Ben. There you go. That was a good outlet.
Trojans trailing by 5 points. We're down to 19 seconds. Hacker finds Bemis. Now to Cerny. Ball tipped away. The Warren Central player diving head first, trying to save it. What an excellent play by Malik Stanley. He tipped that one away from Cerny and then dives head first, trying to save it. Cannot. 11 seconds to play.
Trojans lost 13 seconds there and haven't gotten a shot off.
Cooney inside spinning and tried to bank it in. Does not. And the Trojans, I believe, are going to go down. Yes, they're going to lose this one, but what a spirited effort by the Center Grove Trojans. Final score 48-43. Center Grove falling to the Warren Central Warriors here in this MIC contest. For the Center Grove Trojans, now 6-9 on the season, 0-5 in conference play. For the Warren Central Warriors, they improved to 11-5 overall and 3-2 in conference play. Up next, we'll have our Indy Honda postgame show. This is Center Grove Trojan basketball.
The buying experience at Indy Honda is second to none, and our reputation speaks for itself. But don't take my word for it. You owe it to yourself to check out the over 1,200 reviews online. Come in now for great savings across the entire Honda lineup. Lease a 2019 Honda Civic LX for just $189 a month, or a CRV LX with all-wheel drive for just $259 a month.
There's only one, Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman's Indy Honda, US 31 South and Stop 12 in Indy.
Welcome to the Indy Honda postgame show. Final score tonight, Warren Central hangs on to beat Center Grove 48-43. Tough loss for the Trojans. Very competitive all night long. Center Grove in that third quarter, Rick Sauter led 34-33. And then the Warriors battled back, took the lead going into that fourth quarter, 38-35. And then the Trojans in that fourth quarter got within 2, 43-41. But then the Warriors, they made the plays here down the stretch to pull out the victory. Once again, your final tonight, 48-43.
Yeah, Kevin, it was a good ball game. I mean, Trojans played hard, as they always do, but really played hard tonight. Did a nice job on the boards overall. Just in that fourth quarter, got worn down a little bit by that press. Had a couple times where they struggled getting the ball in, and then had a few kind of crucial turnovers in that fourth quarter. And when you're in close games like that, you just can't have those, and just not quite enough points again. 43 points for the Trojans to counteract a big second half by Malik Stanley for Warren Central.
Tonight's scoring summary, Warren Central led 9-7 after the first quarter, and the Trojans were outscored 15-13 in the second quarter. At halftime, it was 24-20, Warren Central by 4. Center Grove did outscore the Warriors by 1, 15-14 in the third. Got the deficit down to 3, 38-35 going into that fourth quarter. And then in that fourth quarter, Center Grove got within 2, 43-41. And then the Warriors end the game on a 5-2 run to win it, 48-43, your final. The Warriors outscored Center Grove 10-8 in that fourth quarter. And Rick, I know you got tonight's scores.
I do, Kevin. For the victorious Warren Central Warriors, they had 7 players score tonight. They had 2 players in double figures. They were led by Malik Stanley, who is their leading scorer, averaging 21 points a game. And he only had 2 at the end of the first half, but really came alive with 9 in the third, 7 in the fourth. He was 5 for 5 from the free throw line and ended up with 18 points and made some big shots that kind of put Warren over the top against Trojans. The other big scorer tonight for Warren Central was Hunter Jackson. He's an 8 points a game scorer typically, but he had 11 tonight. Played a very nice game. Had 3 of those were 3-pointers, and kind of all around played well for Warren. Mikal Clark ended up with 8 points today. He had 6 in the first half. Just had 2 in the second, but had 8 overall. They had Derek Jeffrey had he was in foul trouble most all the evening. He's typically a 12-point scorer. He only had 2 points for Warren Central to round out their scoring. For Center Grove, we had 6 players score tonight, just 1 player in double figures, and that was Ben Cooney, who ended up with 15 points for Trojans. Played a really nice all-around game. Was strong inside, had several blocks, excellent on rebounding, and really hustled overall. Scored in every quarter, ended up with 15 tonight to lead Center Grove. Landon Hacker had 9 points, played a nice all-around game, got in a little bit of foul trouble, but ended up with almost double figures, scoring 9. Charlie Bemis scored 8 points. All those 8 were in the second half. He had 2 3-pointers in the third and 2 big free throws in the fourth quarter to keep the Trojans close with his 8. And Taylor Cerny ended up with 7 points for Center Grove, 6 of those in the first half. He was in foul trouble too late, but ended up hanging in there and having 7. Trojans got a bucket from Dane Young in the third quarter for his scoring, and Mark Nasankney, the freshman starter, ended up with 2 points for Center Grove.
Rick, at the top of our webcast tonight, we mentioned that this was a very winnable game for the Center Grove Trojans. Warren Central, very good team, don't get me wrong, but we felt like this was a game that the Center Grove Trojans could win here on the home court. Warren Central, not quite the team that they've had in the past few years, still a very solid team, but just couldn't make enough plays, the Trojans, down the stretch. They needed some stops and just couldn't quite come up with the timely basket. They need a couple of baskets there down that stretch. But the Trojans have to learn from it. Again, I love the competitive spirit by the Center Grove Trojans. They always compete hard. And now they got to get ready for a really good Franklin Central team on Saturday.
I agree. We knew kind of this would probably be a low-scoring defensive game. That's kind of Warren's game. They always play tight defense, and they definitely did. Trojans overall did a nice job, and that kept them in the game with that. But just a couple too many turnovers in kind of crucial times, and that'll make the difference in a game against a good team like this. And But there are a lot of positives, Kevin. I thought Trojans, as always, played really hard, but really did tonight. Played very well defensively. Did a pretty good job on the boards overall. And for the most part, did a pretty good job of turnovers. Just had a few ones in that fourth quarter that really hurt them. But you can definitely take some positiveness from this game. It was against the top team, the MIC. Just hung in there the whole way. It was really a close game the whole way through. And I think, they play like this, they're going to have some positive outcomes going forward.
Again, the motto, if you will, that Coach Hahn has for this year's season, he calls it the March to March. Again, basically knowing that, hey, Center Grove's going to take its hits and licks, if you will, throughout the regular season and hopefully learn from them, continue to get better. I see a team that is improving and be ready for that state run, be ready for the sectional. Again, it's going to be hosted down at Shelbyville this year, and now the Trojans get ready for a potential sectional opponent playing Franklin Central this Saturday, so we'll see how the Trojans kind of, if you will, measures up with Franklin Central this Saturday under their new head coach and Chris Byers, who does a great job, as obviously we've seen Coach Byers the last several years with Warren Central, what he's done with that with this Warren Central program. But Rick, you're off tomorrow night. You're
am.
back with us on Saturday afternoon for the Flashes.
Yep, I'll be looking forward to that Saturday game. That'll be a big test for us. That's considered, at least record-wise, a top team in our sectionals. So it'll be interesting to see how Center Grove matches up against the Flashes on Saturday.
And again, note the start time on Saturday. It's a day game for the boys team. The JV game starts at noon. The varsity game will tip at around 1:30 here at the Vandy. Center Grove hosting Franklin Central. And I should mention as we wrap up tonight, the Center Grove JV team victorious tonight, 42-36 over Warren Central. So the CG JV team now 11-2 on the season. So the Trojans, again, hosting the Flashes on Saturday. Noon start for the JV game, 1:30 for the varsity game. And, Rick, we will see you on Saturday.
Should be fun, Kevin. Look forward to it.
So tonight's game was produced by CG Sports Network. Once again, Center Grove falling to Warren Central in this conference game at the Vandy. 48-43 your final. Center Grove 6-9 on the season, 0-5 in conference play. Warren Central improves to 11-5 overall and 3-2 in MIC play. Once again, our next webcast will be tomorrow night when the Center Grove girls basketball team hosts Whiteland in the sectional semifinals at 7:30, and our next boys webcast on Saturday at 1:30 when the Trojans host the Franklin Central Flashes. Until tomorrow night, this is Kevin Conrad for Rick Sauter saying good night, everyone, from Center Grove High School.